right, welcome everyone. Welcome. So, trade management is the topic for today. And as easy as it sounds sometimes, or if you're not really trading, you're learning, you're gonna see basically. Oh, I have to mute someone. All right. So, basically, trade management is something that, in my opinion, has directly, getting direct effect from your mindset and how your behavior in the market is. It's nothing about technical or your strategy. Well, it's more also about trading plan that you have. So in trade management, a lot of people think that this is not really important, and that's the problem basically, right? So in my opinion, trade management is the make it or break it points. A lot of time, a great setup turns to a losing trade just because you fail to manage your trade properly. You either come out early, you had really tight stop that you got out before move happened, or other different problem that can happen, and you might, you know, all of us have this experience. To be honest, myself had a trait that I'm going to show actually as an example of failing to manage a trade properly and getting a stop out. But behind this trade management, there is a secret. The secret is your mindset and how you actually behave when this is happening, if it happened, or how you gonna try to stop it from happening. Okay, so for example, how many times it happened to you that you basically moved your take profit, trade goes to your favor, you move your take profit, and you get a stop out. I'm gonna give you one small example right here. So let's say you entered a trade in here before London session, or let's say here around cross. Okay, let me put it up. And then you had your stop loss, let's say 42 pip, and your take profit was high of Monday, 1 to 2 risk to reward, which is pretty good. But the moment price comes around your take profit, you decided that, oh, price is going, so probably gonna see here. And before price reach that area, it's gonna come and stop you out. This is a real example of something that you might not see it in your back test, that how can I lose this? I'm not gonna get in. But in real time, if you actually take that trade, you might move your take profit. So this has something to do with your mindset. Why did you move your take profit? Why did you basically violated your trading plan? If you had a 1 to 2 take profit for here, why did you move it up to here? It can be because you got greedy. It can be because you get overconfident. A lot of different reasons can happen in order for one mistake to happen over and over and over. You can be greedy once, second time you be overconfident, third time, I don't know, you see someone else telling you that price gonna reach there, so you're gonna move your take profit over there. All of them will result in you losing a trade that can actually make you money. See, if this was me and I would buy here, my first TP would be hit here and I would be break even. So not only I make money, I actually get a stop out at break even on my runner. We're gonna talk about how to, use different type of execution in your trades to help your trade management. But right now I'm focusing more on mistakes or problems that can happen. Okay, I'm seeing the chat that people are literally saying they did this week. And you see, it's not something that it never happens. Oh, it's not gonna happen to me. If you say it's not gonna happen to you, you probably never trade. traded in your life. If you trade couple of times, by less than 10 trade it takes for you to do this. Trust me. Okay. And then the second way that you go is that you try to getting the most out of a move. So let's say price is basically, let's say, I'm not sure if that's the greatest example, but let's say you already predicted that price gonna form a daily structure and go up. But because you're greedy and you want to get everything that you can from this trade, you're gonna start getting in here, thinking that price did a rejection, wanna go. You're not waiting for those stop hunted. Because this is a mindset problem, guys. You should not really think about I want to get every pips that price moved. You have your analysis, you should have an expectation of price movement due to confirmation and all different kind of thing that happen in life. You should try to make a profit out of the move that you thought it's going to happen. That's the right mindset. I don't care if price moved 160 pip. I want to make profit. If I could make 80 pips, I should be happy. I should be thankful. Now, this is one example of the trade that actually I failed to do the trade management. We discussed this with Forexia family and also my VIP students in Friday about how this was a buyer's trap, basically, forming also a signature trade, played around this zone so much, respecting consolidation above. All of a sudden, you see all this respect was a confirmation for me to go. You can see even 50 and 100, which is the average I gave, basically I recommend to the public on my trap course that you can use. You can see they didn't even cross up. So it was a clear sell, even on ECR strategy. And my entry was right here, basically. My entry was right here, pretty good. And I saw this move that's coming down. Now, due to being Friday and also price didn't really breaking this zone down here, not only I usually go break even, but with me overthinking my analysis, I decided to have a basically 10 pip in profit for the basically stop loss. So I brought it down a little more than break even. And it happened that basically I get a stop hunted and price then push to the literally my take profit. So 83 pips I missed and price moved basically 100. Now, if I was happy with what I got here, or I would trust my analysis, I could manage this trade much better by basically doing nothing. Okay? So that's one of the other mistake that people can make. Um, when you have your own analysis, and I'm showing you the example I did, and when my trading plan says that I had to have my stop loss right in here, and I should actually close a bit of my position down here and then just patiently wait. Now, I did it because it was Friday, right? Now, other than, see, now I told you how I could stop it from happening again. I have to make sure I keep following my plan. Now, what is after? This is very important too. Am I gonna kill myself? Am I gonna punch the wall because I did this 10 pip, this unreason, this stupid thing I did? Should I go, you know, keep thinking about what I did or just move on? because trade management actually is important. You finish the trade, you're done with your trade, you close your position, either you win or lost or whatever, and then it's you till next trading session with the mindset that you get out of trade management. This is basically a job, right? So imagine in your job, in your shift, you got to manage the trade. So you're managing that trade, you're failing to do it, you shouldn't beat yourself up. You have to just be okay that, tomorrow I'm going to make it happen better. I'm going to fix the problem. For me, it's really more important. Like, mistakes happen. You have to make this mistake. You have to lose money. You have to lose the opportunities to actually learn from them. There is no way you learn from winning trade all the time. Winning trade has a joy. Sometimes it teach you something because let's say you trusted your own analysis and you made some money. So it's kind of a good points for you that I gotta do it all the time. The other problem is moving stop loss and moving take profit. How many of you guys did this in this week? Moving your stop loss, thinking that it's gonna just do the stop hunt and continue going to my favor. All right, first one came up, two. You see, these are all common problem for everybody, okay? It's not something that only you are doing it. And this is the example of myself in my trading for the Friday. I got into a long position here, and my take profit was here. My stop loss was about 15 pips. The moment price basically it came rejected, look at this candle, rejection, I am still in my trade. The next very candle closed like this, I got out manually with 8 pip. So this is moving a stop loss in tighter, but what I could do is when price keep coming here, I could move it down and be like, no, it's a stop hunt. And God knows where my account's gonna, fail to basically cover the losses. I don't risk that much that, even if I go this way, I don't think my account gonna have any problem. But not everybody going with 2% risk, right? So moving stop loss and moving take profit is also coming from you not being confident in your analysis, not being certain. Every time you enter, we already talked about it in different sessions. You're either having a fixed stop loss like Brandon, 10 pips or die. So you make money right here for like 50 pips, and you lose money in a day before. So your total gonna be 40 pip plus. You either have this or you're just like me having 10 to 15 pip, 10 to 30 pip floating stop loss. And the moment you set it, there is no moving up. You either close the trade if you don't like the setup anymore, or you just let it hit. Even if you want to enter a game, okay? Same goes with take profit we already talked about. You either have the take profit or you want to trail your stop loss, whatever your plan says. All I'm trying to say is that you should know that trade management should be part of your trading plan. You have to have it, that how are you going to close, how's your stop loss, how's your risk, and basically entering and exit and risk strategy. This is what covers the trade management. You know when to get in, what to risk, when to get out exactly. It's either happening or not. I'm not sure if Shane is here. We actually have a thing about take profit that a lot of time it comes there, won't hit the take profit, and then goes all the way back up, and then a day or two after it goes and hit that take profit within 2-3 pips that we had. And it's important for you that you accept it. A price might comes to that areas and not hit your take profit. You have to stick to your trading plan. If your trading plan says, you gotta go with take profit level at key level or a zone or whatever, you're gonna set your TP, it's gonna hit or no. So you're gonna either lose or break even. It's not done until price reach there. You can't just guess. You can just act before price act, basically. So the next one is adding position. I share a video, picture also about the gold trade from one of the, I saw in, Instagram. It was part of this hashtags. We had all this analysis on gold, that how it's going to be a sell, and they were keep buying it. And they had a buy in here. They had a, sorry, sell, my bad. They had a sell there. They had a sell here. They had sell here. Sorry, I believe. And they were keep basically selling when price pushing up. You have to have it on your trading plan. How much you're going to risk? How many position are you going to enter in a trade? Are you going to go twin position? Are you going to have one position that you can close 50% of it? I don't see a reason people adding position anymore. I used to do that, but someone told me that, why are you bothering yourself? You have to be specific on your entry, try to catch the best, and once you got that best entry that you want, you get in with whatever you're planning to risk. You can't just keep adding. People who add position other than their plan, that's basically greed. Maybe it sounds good when it's in profit going down, but I don't want to have greed in my behavior. So you even maybe you risk 2%, then end of the day, one trade you go 3 position basically. I rather risk the 6% right away, which is pretty high. I don't recommend it. But you get that best entry and you set your TP, you set your stop loss, whatever your trading plan says, either it's trailing, and you just follow it. Okay? This one, I decided not to set a stop loss, expecting it to profit on Monday. Well, trading without a stop loss is a no-no for me. There's no reason you can, even with the stop loss, holding trades on weekend, there is a chance you lose more than what you plan to risk. It can gap. And if you risk 2%, you might end up losing 10%. But that's with a stop loss. So without a stop loss, how you're gonna manage that trade? So, and also, yeah, no, never add a position on a losing trade too, thinking that, oh, I'm gonna get that better entry. I'm gonna get that better entry. You have to be okay with losing a trade, missing a trade. You can take the chance, be break even, price goes in your favor, and you have to act like nothing happened. These are all part of trading. Getting on break even and all that kind of stuff is part of the business, and you shouldn't really get any effect from it. All right. So now let's talk about basically, if you guys have any other problem that you think I didn't mention, write it in the chat and tell me what you did. Did you think it was because of your trade management and it didn't end up great? So closing trades too early, that come up. That's good. Yeah. So closing trades too early is kind of something that happens a lot of times. You just gotta keep going and trust your analysis. How many times you average out, how many times your analysis are actually playing out all the way to your TPs, and then decide that you're gonna stop doing what you were doing and closing trades early. So now, before I answer the next question, let me talk about two different type of executing a trade that we use. At least Elvin and I, we do different. So you can either get in with twin position. So let's say you're about to sell this in Asian session here, and your stop loss is, I don't know, 20 pips. So you can get in and have a TP for 40 or 50 pip. It's 1 to 2. So let's say 43, that covers commission 2. 1 to 2. And then you can have another one. So you have to basically get in at the same time with two different positions, same stop loss. Okay. And the next one, you should have a TP. Well, you can have it runner or you can have a TP. So let's say I'm gonna keep it open here. The moment that your first trade hit the TP, you're gonna move the stop loss on other one to break even. And then you have two options. One is trailing your stop loss. I continue going down, and you're probably gonna stop out here or here, depending on which average you're trailing from, or your take profit level going to be hit, depend on how many pip you had. So the first one is twin position. Now you should have it on your trading plan. How many percentage are you going to risk per trade? Let's say if you want to risk 2%, then you're gonna have to open two position, 1% each. Or if you're planning to risk 4%, then you open 2% position. And then when you, let's say the first trade hit the TP, so you had 2%, and now you gain 4%. That's basically 1-to-1 based on the whole risk that you had. You go break even, so you're already 1-to-1. Even if price come back and hit your stop loss, you made exactly as what you risk. And if not, you're gonna make more. So that's a great way, because it helps your account grow. Even trades just go 1-to-2 and come back to your area that you entered. That's the number one you can do. The number two is basically how I do it. I do this manually. So if I get in here, let me delete this with 20 pip, I'll have my take profit, let's say in 150 pip, okay? Something around here. So when price basically goes down to 1-to-2, basically, I'll close a part, almost 50% of my position, have my stop break even, and let the rest go to my take profit. So this is two different ways I at least advise you guys to trade and manage your trade. This allows you to make money even if price doesn't really make it to the TP and you didn't really go against your plan. You have it written down, you know exactly what you're doing, and it's just a good way for you to manage it. Now let me check the chats and see what do we have here. How soon do you put the stop loss in break even? Most of the time I wait for 1-to-2, but sometimes 1-to-1 I go to, depending on setup and the days that I'm trading. So if I'm trading Monday and Friday, I like it to be secure as soon as possible. And if let's say let's say I know price is going to break out to area and then trap people reverse, and I'm taking a trade buy for the breakout. That's one of other ways that I like to secure bag faster than usual, because I know that, well, I predict that next move gonna completely come back. So in those case, I rather take it, to the other side. Let me show you one example is here. Okay, that's a great example actually. So let's say we're seeing this as a trap for buyers. They are planning here, they're working on a resistance. Yes, right there. So they're working on this resistance, and I know they're gonna grab the liquidity, but at the same time, if you look here, you can see that there is not much of a way they can trap this high and go right back down. So liquidity zone would be around here. For that reason, when I see price push up, I don't really wait for the consolidation and see what happened later. I get out here. So it's really depends, and you have to be a little, you gotta act on your trading plan and analysis. You mentioned everything and the problem. Okay. All right, that's great. I've been issue with the user pair, been predicting a huge sell, but they keep buying. Then stop predicting sell. Why are you predicting sell? Let me check it. I don't really trade it, but we can see. Well, that's your problem, my friend. Why are you keep selling when overall trend is that bullish? What's the problem in here? You have to, when overall is this bullish, all you gotta do is wait for sellers to be trapped. That's it. You see, sellers trap, then they push it up. Sellers trap, they push it up. That's how it's gonna go. Um, sellers trap, sellers trap. It's easy. Sellers trap, sellers trap. Um, yeah, just look for overall trend. Why are you doing that? It's doing it 10 to 20 pip depending on trade analysis. That's good too. How to move on if a trade hits my stop loss and went again in the same direction as I predicted? What's the best way? Well, you have to study that trade, and it's actually good to study it in the same day. That's a great question. Thank you. So when you take a trade, you lose that trade, and then it goes to exact same direction you wanted. You basically study it and see what was wrong. What did you have a really tight stop loss? Was your entry was too late? What was the problem? You didn't wait for confirmation, so your entry wasn't good. You saw price pushing to the direction, you jumped in. A lot of different things can happen. And this is why I say do it in the same day. So your thought is actually fresh. Write it down and make sure you go back to it and remember the feeling you had, the mistake you made, and just change that. You see, I ask this people ask this question a lot, that how long it takes for me to become successful. The answer is how long it takes for you to get rid of a bad habit. So what you're telling me, it's a bad habit. Okay? Let's say whatever it is, it's a bad habit that it's making you lose when you are right. It's either moving stop loss break even too early, having tighter stop loss, whatever. How to know if it's going to be 100 pip plus trade? Um, well, a couple of things that happen. Number one is the trading setup that you're going to take. And if you're trading the induction, you can't really expect a lot of pips. But if you're trying to trade in line with overall trend, usually you can expect more pips, So after that, I know it is a free trade, easier to let it go. That's that's right, but you have to make sure that you making it a free trade doesn't stop you from making profit that actually you deserve due to your analysis. All right. So that's pretty much it. What I have ready for you guys. Basically, how to properly trail your stop loss is the only one I didn't answer, and that's really depends. You can have a zones to trail your stop loss, but we, at least Brandon and I, and also Elvin, we prefer moving averages, and usually the slower one to trail your stop loss. That's the best way. Try to not really trail it, in my personal, trail it in the same time frame that you enter. If your entry is 30 minutes, trail it on 30 minutes. So many times you get in 30 minutes time frame and then you go in 5 minutes, start trailing it, it will end up you getting out without having the complete move, you know in your back. So that's pretty much it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this session and learned something from it. Again, I'm just going to wrap it up with telling you that this is all about mindset and how you basically behave. How you get emotional from one trade will have an effect on the next trade you are going to have if you don't have a proper mindset. You have to treat each trade separately and understand that all this trading management, well, quote unquote trading management mistakes are there to help you learn. You have to make those mistakes to learn. When it happens, don't be mad. You're just in the process of learning. Just go with it, learn from it, journal it, practice it so you don't let that happen again. The trade management is gonna happen over and over in a time regarding your experience, regarding how good you are. It's gonna come up over and over. As I said myself, I did this myself Friday on three different trade, and they went without me. So it's okay. I just learned, and that's it. All right. Make sure to, if you're watching it on YouTube, make sure to subscribe us, like us, click the link on description. We have free course, free book, free community, everything for you there, absolutely free, so you can get to know us, start making profit. And also we have premium education you can sign up for. All the links is down there. Thank you again. See you later. Peace out.